Hey guys, it's Bex. Welcome to another video. I think I'm in the middle of about like 18 to 20 series right now, so too many. And in today's video, we are going to be trying to continue or finish some series that I'm in the middle of. The first book we are going to be reading in today's video is Supernova by Marissa Meyer. This is the third book in the Renegades trilogy, so this will be completing a series, which is a great start to the video. I knew I wanted to read this because I just finished the second book in this series like a week ago, and between the first and second book of the series I waited like 8 months to read the second one after reading the first one, and I just knew that was too much time in between them, so I wanted to just jump straight into this one while everything was fresh in my mind. So that is what we're going to be doing. So as you can see, I have a bookmark in here. I just started it this morning and it's like 1:30 right now, so I just read for a little bit this morning and then have been doing other things. But I am on page 33, chapter 4. Don't mind my Christmas bookmark still. I swear I like lost some of my bookmarks and it's really making me sad because one of them was like my favorite bookmark ever and I don't know where it went, but that's okay. If you guys don't know what this series is about, this is a YA sci-fi with some romance series about renegades and anarchists. The renegades are like the heroes, the good guys, and the anarchists are like the villains, the bad guys. And our main character, Nova, is actually an anarchist, and she has a really good reason to be an anarchist because something happened when she was little to where she now hates the renegades. So the first one, you are following Nova, and she and the other anarchists decide that Nova should go and kind of try to infiltrate the renegades by trying out to be a renegade. So every year they hold like these tryouts, and depending on your ability and stuff like that, the different kind of groups amidst the renegades can choose you to be a part of their group. So Nova goes and she gets chosen by this group where the leader is Adrian to be a part of his group. So she then is kind of living a double life, trying to get information on the renegades for kind of her own gain, all that good stuff. Oh, I need an energy drink soon. I think I mentioned there's a little bit of romance in it too. Adrian and Nova kind of have like this connection, and you know, Nova is trying not to get like attached to them because that is not what she's there to do. She's there on a mission and she is kind of like their enemy, but they don't know that. So it was just it being like the whole series so far. It's just been such a fun time. I absolutely have loved every book so far. First book I rated 5 stars, and then the second book I rated 4.5 stars. Just not quite as much action as the first one, but I still really loved it and I'm excited to finish, but I'm also kind of sad to finish. So this is also kind of a thick book. This is like 550 pages. Pretty thick. It is YA, so it reads pretty quickly. Hopefully it won't take me too long to read. I am bummed because I was going to start this video like 4 days ago, but I have been sick. Today is like the first day that I feel a decent amount better, but I still have like a cough and a headache every day and stuff. But I was so sick, so it got a little bit later of a start than I wanted to, so we will see how many books we read in this video. But this is the first book of this video and I'm so excited to read it.
Cool. Yeah, some of those will be nice. Yeah.
On page 142, so I read quite a bit today. I am proud of myself. It is just so easy to read, and I'm so invested in these characters at this point that I just want to keep reading and never stop. The beginning of this book, like starting at page, I don't know, 80, it gets so crazy and something happens that you kind of have known in the back of your head is gonna happen at some point, because that just is how the story seems to be heading, and if it didn't happen you'd be kind of like, okay, weird. But also you want so badly for it not to happen and you think maybe, but no, it happened. And it is a huge bummer, and I'm very curious how they're going to get out of it, so we will see. But yeah, hoping to read just as much every day this weekend so that hopefully I will be close to being done with the book by the time my work week starts, because I have a feeling that the next book I'm gonna read, because I already know what it is going to take me a while. So, you know, but I'm always trying to enjoy the book I'm reading, and I definitely am with this one. I don't feel like I'm trying to race through it or anything like that. But yeah, absolutely loving it so far. Okay guys, I thought now would be a good time to give you like an update on this book, because I am a little bit over halfway through. I'm on page 302. I didn't know what to expect for this book, but I would say it's not really what I was expecting. It's not a bad thing, but I think the last thing I said, and really the only thing I've said about this book since I started reading it, was that something happened around page like 80, 90. That was kind of crazy, but also that you've kind of seen coming from the beginning of the story. And then since I told you guys that, something else happened, and I was not expecting that, and I'm also just very confused about now what is going to happen, because we don't really have that much left of the story. So I feel like if something else bad happens, we don't have that much time to like fix it and have it be a nice happy ending, and I really want it to be a nice happy ending, of course. So yeah, I don't know, that's kind of my thoughts. I am still absolutely loving it, and I'm still super engrossed and invested, and just cannot wait to see what happens. I am a little bit nervous, and I just, yeah, don't know what to expect with the ending, but I just hope it is what I want. I think I've said this before too, but it's hard in videos like this where you can't really like give, I don't give spoilers anyway in books, but like a first book of a series, you can talk a lot more about what's going on in the book, and it's not a spoiler. But then when you get farther on into a series, you obviously can't really, because you would give spoilers away from previous books. So I just feel like there's not a lot I can ever say about the book in videos like this unless I have it be spoilery, which I usually don't do. So I still enjoy watching these videos, obviously more so when I've read the series, but yeah, hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. If you haven't read the series, I suggest it because it's really good. It's just such a fun time. So this is your sign. Today I'm really gonna focus on reading a lot. I'm gonna try to read like 150 pages again today. I say again because that's how many pages I read the first day reading this book, and that would bring me to like page 450, and then I would only have like 100 pages left. Hoping I can finish this book the next probably 2 days and then start our next book for this video. Crazy stuff's going on right now. Crazy stuff. have like 20 pages left, and it's crazy. And I was just tearing up a little bit. So like cute and wholesome, but at the same time it shouldn't need to be. Craziest epilogue ever. Literally, what? Just casually, the biggest reveal of the whole freaking story was in the epilogue. Seriously, so good. Most important thing done, I just watched recap videos on TikTok from this person, I'll put it on the screen, of what happened in Fourth Wing and Iron Flame because I didn't really remember. They're big books and a lot happens, and I read Iron Flame like right when it came out and Fourth Wing however long before that. Not right when it came out or anything, but it's been a while, so I just needed a refresher. But now I'm refreshed. Thank you so much, person on TikTok, and I can start this book and I'm so excited. I already have FOMO because I feel like I'm missing out on this book. I literally don't even know what it's going to be about. I mean, I do because I know where it left off, but I should probably read the summary. Oh, that's so cute. To the ones who don't run with the popular crowd, the ones who get caught reading under their desks, the ones who feel like they never get invited, included, or represented. Get your leathers. We have dragons to ride. I love that so much. Okay, thank goodness. There's like a info page about who the world leaders are and where they lead, and it has all of the, not all of, but a good amount of the main characters' names and their dragon that they're bonded to and their signet slash specialty. Okay guys, I have updates for you. I have not talked to you since I finished Supernova, and I haven't told you guys my thoughts on it or anything. And then I started Onyx Storm. I almost just said Iron Flame first because obviously I'm done with this book already. I will be telling you guys what I thought about Supernova by Marissa Meyer, and I have thought about it. And in this video, because this was the last book in the series and also there was just crazy stuff that happened, I feel like I need to do a spoiler section, and then I probably will as well for Onyx Storm because I did for Fourth Wing because I read that in a video, and Iron Flame because I read that in a video as well. So I just feel like sticking to the theme, we're going to be doing spoiler free section and then spoiler free or spoiler sections, and of course, like always, I will be putting like timestamps and stuff for when they will be over if you haven't read these books. So first, spoiler free, of course. As you guys saw, my reaction to like the second to last page of this book in the epilogue was insane. I was so shook. I read reviews on Goodreads after I finished this book to like see other people's thoughts because I feel like like, especially when you read like a crazy plot twist or something, or you finish a book in general, you kind of want other people's opinions on it because you want to like talk to people about it almost, you know. Obviously I'm not talking to anyone about it, but you don't want to be alone and you're like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. So I was reading reviews and some people said that they saw that coming, what you are revealed on like the second to last page, but I didn't at all. I never really guess plot twists, not never, but most of the time I'm reading for enjoyment. I'm reading, not that if you guess plot twists or try to, you're not reading for enjoyment. I'm not saying that, but I'm not like actively trying to guess things that are going to happen in books while I'm reading it. Like, I'd rather be surprised, you know? So I just don't put too much thought into it. Obviously, if you haven't read this book, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So that's all I'm going to say about that in this part. But overall, this book was amazing and I'm going to have to give it 5 stars. I was not quite sure about halfway through. I was like, I'm still really, really loving it. It's probably like a 4.5. We'll see, you know, what happens. But the last 200 pages were just crazy. You are learning a lot. You're kind of finding things out along with our main character, Nova. Things are revealed that have been like kept secret from certain characters the whole series. Yeah, the last like 200 pages really packs a punch and it's a lot going on. Because I think I kind of said something along these lines in an earlier like update for this book, but I wasn't sure how it was going to be wrapped up in, you know, 200 pages or however much I had left. It seems like a lot has to happen. You kind of know a battle is coming, you know, like it's good guys versus the bad guys. There's like secret identities, alter egos, betrayals, makeups, breakups, kind of, you know, it just so much happens and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, the last like half-ish really sold it. I have to give it 5 stars. I literally, the whole rest of the night when I finished this, I just could not stop thinking about it. And the ending specifically, again, this is the non-spoiler section, so I will be talking more about what happened in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so as you guys know if you've read this, Magpie is Nova's supposedly supposed to be dead sister. I think I got this on video, but I literally was just like this for like 5 minutes after I finished reading that. Doesn't really explain, unless I missed it, how she didn't die when she was shot, because I think she was actually shot and she had blood all over her and stuff when they found her. I'm literally realizing something right now. Is it just me or... So in her POV, in the epilogue, it says, they said she'd been found by the landlord drenched in her own blood and screaming her head off, the bullet clutched in her pudgy fist. They told her that was less than an hour after Captain Chromium himself had stopped by to investigate the crime and declared her and her parents dead. So wouldn't Captain Chromium know that she was Nova's sister? Because obviously at the end, Captain Chromium realizes that she is, whatever her dad's name was, his daughter, and that he died and that he was killed by Ace himself. First of all, what? That was a crazy reveal too. I liked that reveal because I was always like, I get why Nova is protecting him, Ace, because it's her uncle. He saved her life. He took her in, but still, why is he being so annoying? But then when we found out that he in fact killed his own brother, her parents, I was like, okay, now we can actually hate him. Yay. But yeah, wouldn't Captain Chromium put the 2 and 2 together that Nova was or is Magpie's sister? I don't know. I think I read somewhere that maybe Marissa Meyer's gonna do some sort of book or novella or something in this world later on. I really hope she does because yeah, that ending is like criminal, but I also kind of love it. So yeah, without giving spoilers, if you have read this, let me know in the comments if you saw that reveal coming. What did you think of this book? I just loved it. I love the series. I hope more people read it. I mean, I know it's popular, but it's like not super hyped like some other kind of, you know, internet hyped book talk, booktube books. So glad I read this and loved it, and I'm really sad that it's over, but maybe not. That was enough rambling about that. Then I obviously started, as you guys saw, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, and as you guys can see, that is how far I am. I am, what is that, probably maybe 30% of the way through. Slowly but surely thoroughly reading this. I definitely read Supernova way faster. I think I finished this whole book in the same amount of days that I've already been reading Onyx Storm. But for you guys, it's been a second, so oh well. If you guys don't know what this book is, it is the third installment of the Empyrean series. I always forget what it's called, which consists of Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and then this one. This one just came out a couple weeks ago. Very highly anticipated for me, and I think pretty much everyone else. I even know people in real life that, like, I wouldn't say they don't read, but I don't know them as like, oh, you read a lot. They have even read this series, and we're excited to read this and for it to come out and stuff. So very, very popular, and for good reason. I think this series is an adult romantasy series. We're following Violet, who at the beginning of the first book is just to the stage in her life where she is going to go to, I don't know how to pronounce anything in this book, by the way, so literally I probably should look it up and find out, but if I say anything wrong, I'm so sorry. The War College, which is called Bazgaeth. And this war college has different quadrants. I can't remember what they all are, to be honest. I think there's like 4. I know one of them is the scribe quadrant, which is like very, you know, academic, and they read and study and write and stuff like that. That is what Violet always thought she was going to go into, but her mother last minute says, no, you're going to go into the dragon riding quadrant. So that just turns her whole life upside down, and it's very dangerous. You can die, and it's even harder for Violet because she's like a very frail person in general. Like her bones and joints and stuff are very weak, and they very easily break and bruise. So it's extra hard for her, and she has spent her whole life not thinking she was going into this specific quadrant of the school. So she is not prepared. While she's there, she meets Xaden, who her family and his family have kind of had a long-standing hatred towards, and they're kind of enemies for good reason. So she, without even really knowing him, hates him, and he hates her, and it's enemies to lovers. That's where the romance comes in. I love the romance in this series. The fantasy as well is amazing. You have dragons, of course. All the cadets in the dragon riding quadrant all have to bond a dragon, and if they don't get chosen by a dragon, then they're out basically. And I think they can retry maybe the next year or something. When you're bonded with a dragon, you get a signet, which is basically like a power, and I won't spoil what Violet gets, but some of the powers are like ice wielding. You can read minds, stuff like that. And in this book, we're just continuing, of course, Violet's story. Lots of crazy stuff has happened. War, unexpected alliances, kind of quests, high stakes, all the things that I love about a fantasy book. So far, I am liking it a lot. I was kind of nervous going into it. I was really trying not to, like, I haven't watched any videos, like reading vlogs of people reading this book yet, just because I don't want any preconceived kind of notions as to what I might think of it, but I have heard good things from what I have seen on accident. But I've also heard that the beginning, maybe the third or half, is pretty confusing, and I'm not really getting that so far. I'm not like super confused. I also, if you guys saw, I think I put it in, I watched recap videos of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame before I started this because it had been a bit since I've read those and I just needed a refresher. So maybe that helped. I don't know, but I'm not really that confused. I mean, yes, there's some names that I don't really exactly know who they are, and I think some are like dragons. And I will say that Rebecca Yarros, she doesn't really recap things that have happened in the previous books. Such a good example of the opposite is this book, this series. Marissa Meyer does such a good job in a new book in the series recapping certain characters in kind of a nonchalant way in the book to where it's not like super obvious. And I do not think, from what I've noticed, Rebecca Yarros does that, so that makes it a little bit harder to kind of keep track of everyone. There's a lot of characters, and most of them, you know, are bonded to a dragon, and you're like, are they talking about a person or a dragon? So it's not very confusing except for kind of that aspect. I'm like, I don't really know who they're talking about, but I don't really care that much. It doesn't take away my experience reading the book, I don't think, so it's fine if I don't know exactly who every single person is. Like usual, I've been talking forever, so I'm going to stop, and I might read a little bit more today. I did set a timer for an hour today and read for a full hour, so, you know, pretty good, but probably could have read more. But I'm just slowly reading this, but I will see you guys when I get farther. I am quite a bit farther into Onyx Storm, which is really exciting. If you can see, I'm probably about 70 to 75% of the way through. I'm on page 352, and something happened within the last, I don't know, 20 pages of what I read that was kind of crazy. I mean, to the point where I was like, oh well, this is happening, yay, but also I'm nervous. So hopefully this is really where the book is going to start, I guess, picking up, but it hasn't been boring, like, at all. I've really been enjoying it. I will say that I don't know if it's a 5-star book for me. I mean, overall, like, there's really nothing I can think of that I don't like about it, but I don't know if it's quite giving me that 5-star feeling. So yeah, basically I'm loving it. Not sure where my rating is going to be quite yet, but also we obviously have close to 200 pages left. Not quite. Basically right now we are just following our main characters, Violet, Xaden, all the people, and they have been kind of doing like smaller quests, for lack of a better word, to get them to their like final goal in this book, which I cannot say what that is at all because that is a huge spoiler. All I'll say is that there's kind of 2 quests that are trying to bring them to the same goal, sort of. One of them has to do with one of the main characters and one of them has to do with a dragon, and I think we're now going to start getting to kind of the big final quest sort of the story. And I will say, mentioning the dragons, I just love the dragons in this story. Interestingly enough, I feel like the series, specifically from the first book, but also the last book a little bit, Iron Flame, it has gone away from the romance a little bit, which isn't that surprising, I guess, because, you know, when characters are first getting together, without it seeming abrupt or something like that, you have to show a lot of scenes of them together and stuff. But this one, to me, it just seems like a lot more, maybe 70% fantasy, 30% romance, where maybe the last one was 60-40 and the first one, Fourth Wing, was maybe 50-50. I don't know. But yeah, the dragons, I don't know, I just love them. And Darna, I love her so much. I don't know why. I just picture her like small and young, which she is young and she is smaller than a lot of the other dragons, or all of the other dragons maybe, but I just love her. How she has to wear a harness and be like strapped to another dragon. Again, I'm trying not to give spoilers because her wing, I think that's so cute. I don't know, I love her so much. But that is my update on Onyx Storm. Cheers. It has been a little while since I've talked to you guys last, and I am really close to being done with Onyx Storm. I'm gonna be honest, it has taken me a while to read this book. That does not have anything to do with the book itself, but that is okay because we're gonna finish it tonight. However, I did think that I should give you guys one last kind of update thoughts before I finish it. So I'm on page 472, so I think I have like 55 pages left. Therefore, I'm pretty sure that we are like about to / starting the climax of the story right now. I'm like nervous to finish it because even though I've kind of tried to wait to watch other videos, reading vlogs of people reading this, or see other people's reviews on this book, I do now know that apparently the ending is like a huge cliffhanger, and Rebecca Yarros, I believe I saw, said that she does not have like a date or really even a time frame as to when the next book is going to come out in this series. So I would say we at least probably have, you know, a year and a half, 2 years. But yeah, updates. I'm really liking it. I'm really getting into it. Obviously, we're almost done, but it did, like I said, kind of take a little bit to get super into it. I also want to say, and I will do a spoiler section in a moment, but something happened not very long ago, around page 450. That was so sad. I didn't expect that. I'm not ashamed to say that I cried. I cry so easily at literally anything. I am such an empath. Every time I'm scrolling on TikTok, I swear, I see a video that makes me cry. Whether it's sweet, sad, cute, heartwarming, whatever. And I cry at so many movies, books. I just am a crier. But yeah, I'm loving it. Now, I just want to quickly do a spoiler section. So skip to the time on the screen if you want to avoid spoilers. They're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1. And Darna. My poor Andarna. That was so sad. I think mostly what was sad about it, the couple pages after she actually leaves, Violet is just like, Andarna's gone and like can't get out of bed. She literally almost like died because of it, but Tairn like snapped her out of it and she is kind of back to not normal, but back up and at 'em. But I don't know why that was so sad to me. And I hope, I need to like reread that scene, but didn't they say something about Andarna only going for like 2 years or something like that? The dragon, Leothan, I don't know how to pronounce his name, the Irid, comes and says, "You will come home with me," he answers, holding her gaze. "It may take a few years, but the others will accept my decision. By then you will have learned enough to know your truth." Rereading it is making me sad. So I guess then it's kind of up to Andarna if she wants to come back. So I need to like keep this in mind because in later books, if she comes back, I will be so happy because I just love her. She's like my favorite character. And she's a dragon, but I'm serious. I cannot leave her. And Darna's head draws back. Ignore me. I'm just tearing up at it again. Anyway, that was crazy. And I think that's really what else. Oh, and we also learned Violet's second signet is like dream walking, I think they called it. We have 55 pages left. The plan is to just sit my butt down right here and finish it. Oh my god. I cannot believe this. I did not expect this. I have like 7 pages left. Oh no, Zayden's POV. Oh, I'm nervous. What is he gonna ask her? Oh, even though I just said, what does he need to ask her? I knew it. What? That's the last. That's the last page. I'm so confused. I finished Onyx Storm and wow, this was so good. I'm really glad that I loved it as much as I thought I was going to. I didn't really have any doubts, to be honest. I don't know if I said this in this video, probably. But I'm one of the people that really loved Iron Flame. I know that not everybody did, but it wasn't 5 stars. I rated it 4.5 stars, but it was close. I still really loved it. But this one was 5 stars. I'm giving it 5 stars. I still don't think I liked it as much as Fourth Wing. That was also a 5-star rated for me, but it was just like, you know, the epic start of Violet's journey and everyone's journey in this series. Who knows what the rest of the series holds for us, but we will have to wait a while, I think, to continue. I was almost done with it when I last talked to you. I think I had like 50 pages left, so yeah, I just read it last night, finished it, as you guys saw, and it does leave on a cliffhanger, which sucks because we do have to wait a while. We don't even know how long to the next book. But yeah, those are all my spoiler-free thoughts on this book. 5 stars, and then I just have like one thing to say spoilery, so I'm going to do that now. Again, timestamps on the screen for when to skip to. Alright, really the main thing I have to tell you guys is that I was not expecting Andarna to show up. I literally think my last spoilery talk was how Andarna left and I was so sad, and that how we're not going to see her for so long. Hopefully she'll be back in later books. No, she came back literally in the final fight. We don't know why, because it was very, very close to the end. I'm thinking maybe just because she felt like she was abandoning Violet and everyone. Taryn, you know, the other dragons that she's grown to care about, and she just felt like maybe she was abandoning them when they needed her most because she knew there would be a battle. I don't really know, that's just my guess, but I was really happy to see her back, and I'm glad that nothing happened to her. But I'm also nervous because I do feel like she's more in danger when she is here, whereas she would have been pretty safe, I think, with the other dragons. I can't remember their names or the main one's name who came and got her. The other Iliad? Irid. The Iliad, that's like Greek stuff, not that. The Irid dragon. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the ending. I mean, Xaden apparently marrying Violet, and Violet doesn't remember, which is weird. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. Xaden, goodness, I don't know what is going on with him. Is he full Venom now? I'm pretty sure, but that is so sad. If I had to guess, I definitely think that the next book is going to be kind of about him still and Violet trying to find a way to save him. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like there's a way, and I'm so sad about it. And Xaden's like, don't try to find me. And I also, is the reason that he had Violet marry him, is it because he wanted her to be like the heir or something? Because he knows that, was it Bodhi? I get the names confused, I'm sorry. Bodhi, who was like next in line after Xaden but doesn't want to be the Duke of Tyrandor. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know. Overall, loved it. Very action-packed. I was really happy to kind of see Xaden and Violet's relationship grow in this book versus the last book, because I think maybe that's why a lot of people didn't like Iron Flame, because of the Xaden and Violet kind of miscommunicating. Versus this book, it was just 1,000,000% clear that both of them wanted to be together. Yeah, I was glad that Xaden and Violet's relationship was more secure and stable in this book. That made me really happy, and that's all I have to say about this book. This is going to be the last book I read in this video because, like I said, this book took me a long time to read, and they were both pretty big books. They were both over 500 pages, and this one's just pretty like dense in the material. There's quite a few battle scenes, and those take me so long to read, I swear, because I'm like trying to understand everything that's going on, but I still don't really, but I try, and it just takes me longer to read. So yeah, those are the 2 books, continuing series that I'm in the middle of. We finished one, continued another one, and I did double check my count of series that I'm in the middle of, and before this video I was at 21, and now I'm going to be at 19. So we are in the teens. Happy about that. Hoping to get maybe a couple more read before I start a new series, but I don't know, because there's one I really want to start, but we'll see. Yeah, stay tuned for episode 2, whenever that is, of this series that I'm doing. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on either of these books if you've read them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!